I'm going to show you how you can use a range of different filter effects in Photoshop to create different effects to a piece of design that you've created. So this started off as this was my original design, and using filters I created these different outcomes. So I'm going to show you how you can create the same effect. So the first thing you need to do is to open up one of your Illustrator designs that you've previously created. This could be one of your individual word designs, or it could be one of your whole quote designs that you've created. It could even be something that you've designed by hand and scanned into the computer, either. So any image or design that you've already created, this would work really well with. So first thing you need to do is to select your work and Control C to copy it. Then you need to open up a new page in Photoshop. So you need to go to Create New. I would recommend choosing A4 and a landscape orientation, and then press Create. Now I'm going to paste the design that I just copied, so Control V to paste. It's asking me what do I want to paste it as. Always go for Smart Object as often as possible, okay, because it just gives you a better quality image, it gives you more freedom to edit your effects, and then press OK. I'm just going to enlarge it a little bit to fill the page, like that, and then press Enter to finish my transformation. So filters are here, really easy to ask this one, really quick. So there are two elements that I would ask you to experiment with. The first one being the filter gallery, the second one being all of these. So have just a big play around with lots and lots of different effects and make decision about which ones you want to use or not use. So we're going to start with the filter gallery. And when you click on there, it gives you a preview of your work. If it's too zoomed in, you can go down to the bottom here and you can zoom it out, or you can press Control minus to zoom out, or Control plus to zoom in. That's fine. I don't want it too zoomed in, because when I look at it for real or when I print it off, it's not going to be that zoomed in. So I want to see what it'll look like as a whole. So I've got a range of different folders here with lots of different effects, and these effects work differently with different types of images. Some will work brilliantly with photographs, and some will do seemingly nothing to your design. So it's just a case of going through and deciding which ones you think look good. Rather than moving on before you dismiss something, because that obviously doesn't look that great at the moment, there are some sliders over here that you can adjust and play around with. So you can make some of these look quite interesting rather than just going with the first thing that pops up. Something like, see, that one looks all right. I'm going to move that up a bit, lighten it perhaps. So, make sure you play around with the settings to get the best outcome that you can. When you like a design, you press OK, or even if you're not sure, because it's a smart object, you can easily just hide it, or we can get rid of it by just clicking on it and clicking on the dustbin at the bottom to delete it if you want. Okay, I am going to hide that because I'm going to go back to the filter gallery again, filter. Don't click on this one here. This one here, it's like a help or a prompt. It will apply the last filter you created. So if you click on here, it'll just apply that last filter again, which you don't want. So go down to filter gallery and zoom out a little bit again. And let's try another one. So cut out, it looks okay. Let's try adding more levels, makes it look a bit more interesting. No, definitely not. So it's just a case of playing around, seeing what works well for your image, and then each time you think that looks okay, even if you're not sure, press OK, because you can always get rid of it later if you don't want it anymore. So that actually looks alright. Let's see what it looks like if we put 2 on. Been a little bit slow, not much, probably get rid of that one, but it was just to show you. So I can go back now, let's hide that because I want to apply a new filter to it. Filter gallery again. I mean, I've just chosen the first 2 that's popped up, but there are lots and lots to play around with and to go through. So, go through and see which ones look good for your design, and don't forget to play around with some of the settings over here as well. And don't forget, you've got many folders full of lots of different effects that you could use. Okay, so just clicking on a few, let's try Stylizing, blowing edges. This one can look quite interesting sometimes. So don't forget to play around with the filters or with the sliders before you decide yes or no. So let's just press OK. Let's hide that because I'm going to go back and do something else now. So that's a filter gallery, really straightforward. these ones here you can play around with. You can even have a go at liquefy if you want to as well, but I'm not going to go through all of them. Obviously those give you different blur options. You may not want to blur your work, but you can give it a go if you want. Distorts can be quite interesting, but can distort it quite a lot. Let's just give it a go and see. Let's zoom out a bit so we can see the whole thing. This still needs to be readable, so let's see if we can make this one work. A little bit, let's see what this one does. Changes those ripples. Let's see what that looks like. Press OK. If you do something, think, do you know what, it looks alright, but it's not enough, all you do is double click and it reopens it again, and you can re-edit it. So it's very easy to go back and change things at any point, but make sure you can read your words. There's no point in having a word that you can't read. Okay, so let's hide that zigzag. You could go back and see, right, what does it look like with the zigzag and one of the filter galleries? So, have a play around with that to see what outcomes you think look good. I'm going to hide all of those for the minute and then go back to filter. So that was under Pixelate, I think. No, it wasn't. It was under Distort. So that was zigzag. So, I mean, I'm not going to show you all of them, but it's just a case of having a little play around. That's a little bit mad. But, the idea is you just experimenting and seeing what works well for what it is you're doing. Making sure it's obviously still readable. Let's press OK because it's hard to see. If I don't like it, I can always get rid of it. Yep, that looks alright. Let's keep that one. I'll show you one more. Filter. Let's try Pixelate. These can be quite interesting. Let's try fragments. Okay, it's giving you that sort of like a blurred sort of edge. So it, just experiment and play around with it and come up with a range of different effects. Let's see what Emboss will do. Okay, so it gives us that. Let's try and adjust it. So you can see up it brings colour back to a certain point. It's alright, yeah, interesting. Press OK. Alright, so we've got a range here of lots and lots of different outcomes. So what you need to do when you've got a range, you pick all the best ones, you see which ones look good together. So just have a play around and see which ones look good together, and all the ones you like, put them onto your PowerPoint slides. If you want to further edit this more, you can go back to adjustment layers and experiment with some of these adjustment layers, so you can add these on top. I'm not going to go into too much detail with this because I've already shown you this. So, but if you want to, if you're not sure how to do this, then go back to one of the previous videos that I've put on the PowerPoint for you. Okay, so just have a little bit of a play around with as much as you can with that.